Well, it looks like we're going to go ahead and get started. So first off, welcome everyone who's joining us here live or watching through Facebook or YouTube. Welcome to this year's LIA College Opportunities panel. As you know, this week is LIA College Prep Week, and we have a full week of activities that you can participate in. To begin with, my name is Monica. I'm one of LIA's regional program managers in the Utah Central region. And today we have the opportunity to be here with a panel of amazing representatives from different colleges and universities, both in Utah and Florida, that are here to help you understand more about the college application process and to be more prepared and ready for applying to college. So to start off the evening, I wanted to share a little bit about my personal story and background. So I am half Colombian and half Puerto Rican. And I was born in Salt Lake City, but raised in Central Florida in a bilingual household. Towards the end of my high school, I began applying to colleges, and I ended up attending Princeton University, where I graduated June of this year with a bachelor's degree in public and international affairs and a minor in Latin American studies. I loved my experience as a Latino woman at Princeton and had so many incredible opportunities, met so many unique people from different backgrounds and cultures, and attending college has opened up more doors for me than I could have imagined. And I chose to work for LIA after graduating because I resonated with its mission of empowering Latino youth, and I recognize and understand the huge potential that you all have. So now, without further ado, I'll turn the time over to our panelists to introduce themselves. Panelists, if you could take a couple minutes to introduce yourselves, after which we will move to our question and answer session. So we will begin with
Doris
Lais
Gonzalez.
Martinez.
Thank you, Monica. Hi to LIA students, friends, teachers, alumni. It's really good to be in space with Latinos in action. So let's see. Okay, the next slide. Perfect. Thank you so much. So I just wanted to share a little bit about, I was asked to share about my story. I, like Monica, have parents from 2 different countries in Latin America. My dad is from El Salvador and my mom is from the Dominican Republic. They both met in New York in the 80s, and so I have a picture representing that. But my story really begins with my 2 grandmothers, who were the first ones to migrate to this country. On both sides of my family, it was the mamas, it was the grandmothers that came here by themselves, who had to navigate so many different systems, with English being their second language, and then to support their families and help their kiddos come to this country. And so I am a product of their wildest dreams. And then go on. These are a couple of pictures of my high school years. I graduated from Maryland at Seneca Valley High School. I was a shy kid, and I kind of fell in the middle of the pack, and wasn't necessarily always told about leadership opportunities or different resources. And so I share this with you all because I think it's important to remember to advocate for yourself wherever you can. And that's a little bit about my high school days. The next slide goes into beating the odds. So I, as a single mama, graduated with my bachelor's degree, and I'm also part of the 4% of Latina women that hold master's degrees. So this felt like a huge accomplishment for me and my little family. And then now I work for the Utah system of higher education. I get to influence and impact policy, scholarship creation, and everything I do is with my heart and my spirit geared towards first generation students and helping students complete college degrees and create more opportunities for Latinos. So anyways, it's an honor to be here with all of you today, and I'm looking forward to the discussion.
Thank you, Lais. We'll go on to McKay Luu.
Hey guys, I'm excited to be here. I'm grateful that everybody is here. So I just want to introduce myself. My name is McKay Luu. I was born and raised in Utah. I actually grew up in Spanish Fork, Utah, most of my life. After finishing high school, I went on to Utah Valley University, where I actually currently am attending. I am a student there, but I am employed at Mountainland Technical College, so I get kind of both the aspect of the university feel, but then also the technical college feel of it. At Mountainland Technical College, I am a recruiter and admissions officer, so I work with a lot of students, getting them into the technical school, going through that route, getting certifications and licensures. I help students be able to find different pathways for their careers that they want to go into. So I'm hopefully, if any students has any questions about, some of the programs that MTech offers or any technical school offers, I hope that I could be able to answer those questions and help students be able to find that pathway if that's the route they want to go. So that's just a little about me and kind of what I do at MTech.
Awesome, thank you, McKay. We'll move on to Doris Gonzalez. Doris, you're on mute.
Sorry. Okay, I would like to share. I would like to thank you. To thank Latinos in Action for this great opportunity to share about a little bit about our lives and the schools we represent. I am here on behalf of Atlantic Technical College. I was born and raised in New Haven, Connecticut. I am one of 4 siblings. My parents moved from Puerto Rico in 1960, and my grandmother came to live with us shortly after I was born. I had to be very creative in finding a quiet place to study in order to avoid distractions from my busy home. So I spent a lot of time in the public library. I know that one of the big distractions now is our devices, and I just want to advise you, try to manage your time and do not let social media distract you from your educational career goals. I also had the great opportunity to live in a bilingual home. So I am fluent in Spanish and English. I received a bachelor's degree from the University of Connecticut. Upon graduation, I began working for the federal government in the Social Security Administration as a claims representative. I also worked as a volunteer for young adults, which led me to the degree in my master's degree in counseling and human development. I also worked for the city of New Haven as a job developer. I also worked in several private vocational schools in Puerto Rico, public schools in Illinois, Florida, and now I'm a counselor for the business and culinary program at Atlantic Technical College. I am passionate about my job. I guide and counsel students regarding their educational career goals. It is indeed a pleasure to have students start at ATC and watch many become business owners, transition to our local community colleges. Some continue towards earning their bachelor's degree and more, and ultimately earning pretty decent salaries. For example, after attending our court reporting and broadcasting programs, which is a 2-year program at our school, students begin to earn $50,000 to $60,000 a year. And that's a pretty good return on investment and time. This summer, I wrote a recommendation letter for a student who began at our school as a dual enrollment student, culinary student, transitioned to our school as an adult to finish his program, transferred to our local community college with 30 credits towards a 60 credit associate's of science degree in culinary arts management, and then continue his degree at FIU in hospitality. And I had the privilege to write a letter for him in terms of he is now one of our local culinary instructors for our district. So it's just those beautiful stories that motivate me, and that's why I love my job so much. So I hope eventually you will feel the same way about your educational career path you choose. Let us know how we could help you make your dream come true. All right, so gracias.
Thank you, Doris. Next, we have Kelly Bonney.
All right. Hi, everybody. I'm thrilled to be here. Thank you so much for having me. My name is Kelly Bonney. I am a recruiter with the Broward Technical Colleges. Specifically, I work for Sheridan Technical College. We are located in Broward County, Florida. In case anyone's interested, it's about 55 degrees outside right now. Sheridan is located in Hollywood. However, our students do come from all over the world to take our programs in a traditional or face-to-face, a virtual or a blended environment. In my current role as Sheridan's recruiter, my job is to educate you, the future workforce, on the benefits of a technical college education and how you can have a high-wage, high-demand career without accumulating student loan debt, often in 1 year or less. As an example, at the Broward Technical Colleges, most of our programs are 12 months or less and cost less than $5,000. We do not have student loans, but there are payment plans and many other ways to pay available to you. Our message here, our vision, we would never want anyone who wants to get an education to go into student loan debt if that's not an option for them, or we would never want anyone to also not attend college because they don't know how to pay. There is always a way to pay. We will help you with that, and we will figure that out with you. Every program that we educate students in leads to the licensure or credential you need to enter the workforce in your chosen field. As for my personal background, I have always worked in some capacity of helping people secure employment. This is the reason I am very passionate about what we do at Sheridan and the technical colleges. At Sheridan, prior to being asked to take over recruiting, I worked in job placement. So I ran our career center. This gave me a very unique look at the results of our training and the results of our graduates and what jobs they were going into. I communicated daily with employers who were seeking out our trained graduates, and I was able to have an in-depth look at the job, salaries, benefits, and work-life balance options that our training brings to the future workforce. So I as well am very passionate about what we do. I believe in what we do. Certainly a university education is definitely going to get you ahead in life in many, many ways. However, there are many other options if you want to be a nurse or a cosmetologist or an auto technician or an electrician. There are so many options available to you, and I think we'll talk more about that in a little bit. Thank you.
Thank you, Kelly. Next, we'll go to Joelle Vanderhorst.
Well, hello, everyone in the Latinos in Action community. It's a pleasure to be here, and thank you for the opportunity to share a few words with you today. By means of introduction, my name is Joelle Vanderhorst, and I currently serve Florida Atlantic University as the Director of Undergraduate Recruitment, as well as Director of our admissions at our Honors College. Now, in my role, I have a distinct pleasure of working with prospective students, just like yourself, as you navigate the application and admission processes and explore options at FAU. Now, as part of the university system, the state university system, I work very closely with high schools and students, not only from the state of Florida, but across the country and really the world. Very involved in that transition that takes place from high school to college, and try to facilitate this process that sometimes can seem a little overwhelming, as I'm well aware. I'm originally from the Dominican Republic. I was the first in my family to come to the United States to pursue a bachelor's degree. My family is still there. I was the youngest of 3 siblings, always interested in studying in the US, but didn't really have much of a guidance. So really learned as I went, per se. I played sports and really tried to always give my best in high school, which resulted in a few scholarship opportunities. So needless to say, now I'm extremely humbled to work in higher ed and be able to provide guidance to students that, just like I was years ago, are seeking similar experiences. So very happy to be here with you, and I also look forward to the discussions.
Thank you, Joelle. Next, we will go to Kyrsi Zamora.
Hello, everyone. My name is Kyrsi Zamora. I work for Utah Valley University as an admissions counselor, working directly with the Latino population. I was born and raised in the Dominican Republic, and I came to Utah 9 years ago with my family, and decided to pursue education because my mom, being a single mom and raising kids fighting cancer, always believed that education is the key to success. And so I'm a first generation student. I have a master's degree in business administration and an associate's degree in accounting and a bachelor's degree in human resource management. So I believe that the Latino population can change the statistic, and we can't, just like Lais, being a first generation student and being in that 4%, we can prove that we can be better and we can accomplish many things. And so I love what I do. I love the work I do, and I love working with Latino students. I love working with the parents and helping them help their children. And so please don't hesitate to reach out to me if you need any help. I would love to get in contact with you and help you. That's who I am. Thank you.
Thank you, Kyrsi. All right, we'll turn the time over to Jessie Timotheo.
All right, can you hear me? Oh, good. Hi, everyone. My name is Jessie Timotheo. I am actually an admissions counselor here at UVU, and I actually work with Kyrsi, along with some of our other colleagues who've already introduced themselves. I just want to kind of introduce myself and what I work with. While Kyrsi and I rub shoulders a lot. Kyrsi and I are a great team. She handles all of our Latino outreach recruitment, and I am a supplement to her. I actually handle all of our recruitment, mainly for first generation students. And so the reality is a lot of our Latino population are also first generation students, and I am so excited about what I do and telling students about the resources that are available to them, and we'll get into that later. I do a lot of recruiting and traveling, just like Kyrsi. Get to talk to a lot of people about the opportunities in higher education. Right now is a great time to get involved in higher education, especially here at Utah Valley University here in Utah. One of the great things about Utah, and we can talk about that more later, is that we have a great economy here. And so what that means is great opportunities for you here at our institution. You know, the reality is while most states and unfortunately some of our higher education institutions are kind of suffering, we're building and expanding and growing, and that's really great. It speaks volume to the economy that we're currently in for the Utah Valley market. It's a great place for future prospective students. I'm so excited to talk to you guys about the opportunities that await. I myself, although I'm not a first generation student, but I am a recipient of all the opportunities that my father had as a first generation student. I grew up in a bilingual home as well, but I'm actually trilingual. So I am what you would call a poly-Hispanic. I'm a Polynesian, but I speak Spanish. So I'm an undercover person. I love it. So I can speak to so many different backgrounds and pretty much inspire them about higher education and the possibilities and the opportunities that await. So I'm so excited to be here with you guys, and then we'll talk to you more about what we have to offer for first generation students here at Utah Valley University.
Thank you, Jessie. Next we have Estefani Perez Lopez.
Hi everyone. Yeah, my name is Estefani. I work as an admissions and concurrent enrollment advisor at Salt Lake Community College. So I help students, again, to kind of echo some of my colleagues here. I help students navigate their way through admissions at a higher ed institution, which can be a very intimidating process. I am a first generation Latina. My parents are from Mexico, so I'm a first generation in this country and also first generation navigating higher education in general. So my parents went to like primary school. That was the highest education they received. So asking them for help going through the college process was obviously a no-go. They didn't know what was going on, just as confused as I was. So I decided to go into higher education because I wanted to help students that were in a similar situation as mine, just trying to figure out their way around college, what everything means. Sometimes it feels like we're speaking another language. At least that's what I felt like when I was going to college. I didn't know really what credits even were, or the difference between admissions and registration and all that kind of stuff kind of blurred in my head. So that's why I'm here, and I love meeting with the students that I meet with. Like I mentioned, I do concurrent enrollment advising, so students that want to obtain their certificates, similar to one of my other colleagues on here, we have the junior college component of our school, which will help you get your associate's degree and then move on to a university. So you knock out your first 2 years and then you just have 2 years left. And we also have certificate options. So for those of you that just kind of want to get the knowledge that you need and move on with your life and enter the workforce, we also prepare you for that in our School of Applied Technology. So we have kind of the best of both worlds there. Me personally, like I mentioned, my parents are from Mexico, but I myself am a Utah native. I was born in Brigham, Utah, just up north, northern Utah. And then I was actually taken to Mexico for a few years, and I lived there in Veracruz and Hidalgo. So I am also, I think, pretty fluent in Spanish. You know, sometimes my pochadas, as my mom calls them, come out, but for the most part, yeah, I feel like I dominate both languages pretty well. So I am blessed in that aspect here. So yeah, that's kind of a little bit about myself and about the college, and I'm happy to answer any questions you might have. Like I mentioned about certificates or associates and moving on to your bachelor's degree, I kind of follow that same path myself in order to ease myself into university studies, which again can be really intimidating, but we're here to help.
Thank you, Estefani. Next is Levi Heperi.
Hello, welcome. My name is Levi. I work for Brigham Young University in Utah. Very excited to be with you. I am part Maori from New Zealand, and then also Mohawk Native American from upstate New York. Currently, I work in admissions for BYU, so I have a lot of opportunity to do outreach and help students find our school, find higher education in general. My higher education and education journey actually started at BYU. I think like a lot of students, I didn't really take my education seriously at first, and had some transformative experiences that helped me to value it a little bit more. Graduated with a bachelor's degree from BYU in communications, went on to teach elementary school and inner city schools in Oklahoma City. Before I started working for the University of Oklahoma out there within the School of Social Work. So continued to advise and help students out there before a position opened up. I've been in my position at BYU for about 4 years now. I also got a master's degree when I was out at the University of Oklahoma. And I just recently accepted a new position at BYU where I'll be the Assistant Director of Multicultural Student Services. So excited to continue to work with Latinos in Action and some of our students who I can advise and help out a little bit more. And like everyone's saying, you see my information, always welcome to reach out to me and ask for a little bit of help. Thank you.
Thank you, Levi. And now last but certainly not least, we have Jill Landis-Lee.
Hi, everybody. Thanks for having me. My name is Jill. I speak Spanish and English. My favorite place I've lived is Oaxaca. That was my best year. It's been a pleasure working with LIA and really believe in you guys and the amazing things you're doing. I wanted to just tell you about my background because I speak Spanish and English and decided to go into education as my life work because I knew watching my students that words held power. Being bilingual was an amazing way for the students I worked with to have voice, to make a difference in their community, to make a plan and pursue it. And so I just loved watching, moving from knowing Spanish to using Spanish for academic discourse, for persuasion, for communication, for making a difference for what you believe in the world. That's what I do now, and it's been my pleasure to work with the University of Utah with a program that's called the Utah Program, where we are rethinking and we're redesigning what K-16 led education looks like for languages. We get kids into advanced university level, 3,000 level languages in high school, and it is incredible what these kids do. And what we want you to know is that this is available at through all six of our universities in the state. Our program partners with UVU, with Weber State, with USU, Dixie, SUU, everybody's on board, and it's an amazing opportunity if you want to get involved. But the other thing is, even if you don't take these courses, once you come to university, there are amazing things you can pick up at the university level because you know two languages or because you know two cultures or multicultures. And so we want you to know about the great things in Latin America studies, the scholarships you can earn if you decide you want to pick up a native language. We offer amazing opportunities for like Nahuatl, and you can pick up a new language too if it's something you've always wanted to learn. So it's been really a great honor to work with this program, and I just wanted you guys to know that there's a lot to offer in Utah. One of our goals in our program is we want increased access for students who are first generation college going, and for students to know who are undocumented that Utah offers in-state tuition if you graduate from a Utah high school. So you can be undocumented, but we have, our state has a plan for you to have in-state tuition, thousands of dollars less. So come talk to all these great people, not just me, but there's lots of wonderful people here from the other universities. We're here to help find your pathway, and thanks for having me.
Thank you so much, Jill. Thank you all for introducing yourselves. As you guys can see, we have an amazing group today, and they're all here for you. So now we'll start our question and answer session. So we've prepared some questions for our panelists, and after that, depending on how much time we have, we'll open it up to Q&A from you guys, for you guys to have the opportunity to ask questions. So the first question is for Joelle. What are some of the most impactful characteristics to look forward to as a college student?
Wonderful, thank you. Well, this may sound a little cliche, but you'll make some of the best friendships in your life. And this is really experiences that, and results of experiences that will take you beyond the classroom. I have worked in small and large institution, and still remains true. You meet students, faculty, staff from all over the world. You can learn so much about yourself, your interest, and really what's out there, which is a big part of what higher ed is all about. So beyond the obvious, which is to focus on your academics, allow yourself to interact with the community, and get involved. Stay active, stay positive, be excited about the environments that you'll be exposed to.
Awesome, thank you so much. The next question is for Kelly. How can one be successful without a university education or accumulating student loan debt?
Thank you for the question. In 2 words, skilled training. The first thing that we've all had to ask ourselves, that everyone should be asking themselves, is what do I want to do? So that may be, I want to be a cosmetologist, or I want to be a firefighter, or a machinist, or an electrician, or something that I mentioned earlier. there are many ways to explore what you might want to do for a career. Certainly you can talk to people and engage mentors, search job openings on your local job search site. In Florida, we have a website. Of course, we have the local career source websites, but we also have a local website called floridashines.org. And there you can explore different careers, and you can look at videos and what these careers look like, because a lot of times someone tells us, you know, you should do this or you should do that, and we really don't know exactly what that job looks like. And many people do go into debt and then realize maybe that's not what I really want to do. So first of all, figure out what you want to do through exploration. And you have skills training that is not always a university degree, and student loan debt as well is not always necessary for whatever that career path may be. If you want to be a doctor or lawyer, of course, if you want to be a teacher, you need those university degrees. But there are a lot of very satisfying, engaging, high skill, high wage jobs that you can see a lot of examples of right behind me, where people are making a lot of money. They're having very satisfying careers with a lot of growth and a lot of stability. So there are, you know, other options that we would like to see people looking at as well.
Awesome. Thank you for sharing with us, Kelly. The next question is for Doris. Why should I consider a technical college?
You're muted. You're muted.
All right, so there's many reasons. Hands-on training. We work with industry folks, so we have twice a year, every program has meetings with our industry folks in the industry. So they advise us, and then not only do they advise us in terms of the latest in the industry, but they also hire a lot of our students. So that's a big one. Our teacher ratio, students teacher ratio is very small. Many of our programs you could take them online, face to face, blended. So we have a lot of different options. We have a lot of career-oriented trainings. You leave with a portfolio to share with your employer. So what you learn, you could actually show your employer what you've learned in many of your classes. Our programs are shorter a lot of times in length. They're very affordable. You will leave with very little to no debt because we don't use student loans, like Ms. Kelly said. And you also have the opportunity to have industry certifications. So you're able to take national and state exams to show that your employer that you actually are very much aware and know the content, or you're able to perform the duties that they are looking for. So I highly suggest that you take computer literacy courses, take advantage of like free online courses, such as we have a free steno course. If you're interested in our court reporting program, you could actually take a free steno course before you go into it. So look for those free opportunities before you decide to dive into those areas. So those are some of the reasons why you should consider a technical degree.
Awesome. Thank you, Doris. Our next question is for Lais. What are the most helpful tips to prepare for college success?
Thank you, Monica. So I think the first thing is, if you're a high school student, make sure that you're asking about advanced course taking, because we know that students are 3 times more likely to be successful in college if they have taken at least one advanced course taking. So that's a concurrent enrollment, that's a like AP course. So definitely ask about those opportunities and resources at your high school. I think the other big thing is oftentimes Latinos and multicultural students get talked about multicultural scholarships, but there's also a lot of leadership scholarships out there. And those usually provide students with larger scholarship funds, and they'll even put in housing stipends. So it will allow you to live in a cohort and build those networks that are so critical to career placement. So seek those leadership opportunities. Almost all of the colleges and universities have some type of ambassador program. Seek those out. Those will be really beneficial to you all.
Awesome, thank you, Lais. Okay, our next question is for Jill. How can the study of languages, culture, and identity translate into college degrees and careers?
Okay, there are so many ways. So I was just trying to think of some things that were really interesting that I had no idea about when I was in high school. So I'm just going to give you a quick bulleted list of some really cool things that exist in our universities. So a lot of our universities do have a Latin America center, and that is area studies that are looking at culture. You have opportunity to use your skills in all different areas of career pathways, but to locate it in the countries of Latin America within the culture. And so that's something that there's lots of careers. If you just Google Latin America Center for any of the universities you're interested in, the University of Utah has a big one, and we do lots of partnerships with other colleges at the university as well. One cool thing that a really great partnership is between the Department of Languages and the Hinckley Government and Policy Center. So all of our students that come out of the languages department have an opportunity to have an internship where they can choose to stay in Utah, but they could also go to Washington, D.C. They could pursue leadership opportunities there, and they could also have international opportunities for leadership in business and government. So that's a really neat thing. It's just waiting for whoever just to place you as you move through your languages pathway. If you want to partner it with government, partner it with business, these internships are waiting for you. Weber State University has a really neat degree in localization, and that is combining your knowledge of cultures, of localized cultures other than the dominant culture, to know how to market and utilize tech and computer skills in a very specific community. So you can use, if you love tech and you love computer and you want to go that direction for your degree, you can actually combine that with your knowledge of languages and cultures, and you can be highly marketable. Something else that's really neat at the University of Utah is for any of your undergraduate first courses, the 1,000 level, your first year, and then your 2,000 level, you can combine a lot of your general education courses with an extra credit, 1 extra credit per course, where you get to study in Spanish, in Chinese if you're Chinese, but for a lot of us, Spanish would be the language. So you could have an extra, instead of a 3 credit course, you could take an extra day, have a lecture and a conversation and papers written that were in Spanish, and you pick up an extra credit towards your degree. It helps you move through your general education requirements quicker, because you get to go farther and use your language in context of, say, anthropology or art history or all these different areas of the university that are open to you because you would have that language background too. The final one is really neat. It's about military linguists. Military linguists bring peace to the world because they know cultures and they know languages, and your knowledge of languages and culture could be used in study at Utah State University. Specifically has a huge, amazing program in military studies. And we have, Utah is really a special place because we have one of the few military linguist brigades in the United States, because we have so many people that know languages, and you could earn money on the weekends. It could help put you through college, and you can get hooked up kind of through that university, but also with the reserves through the military. So those are a few top hits on my list.
Those all sound awesome. Thank you, Jill. Our next question is for Kyrsi. Can all students, including DACA and undocumented students, apply to UVU?
Yes, the answer is yes. Any student who is DACA or undocumented can apply to UVU, and especially if you are undocumented and you attended the high school in the state of Utah and attended high school for 3 years and graduate from high school, you can apply for the HB 144 waiver. And what will this waive is that out-of-state tuition. So you'll only pay the in-state portion of it. And you can apply to any privately funded scholarships. You will be able to navigate the system. One thing that I wanted to bring up with this is there's one question that a lot of students get intimidated by. And it's a question that says, and I'm going to read it because this is exactly how it says it. It says, I have filed an application to legalize my immigration status or will file an application as soon as I'm eligible to do so. So a lot of the students get intimidated by that questions, by that specific question, because if they're not in the process of legalizing themselves, they feel like they're lying or they're not going to be able to apply. And let me tell you, do not get intimidated by that question. The key word in this one is the word or will be willing to legalize yourself. So in the near future, you will be willing to legalize yourself. So please make sure that you answer yes to that, because at the end of the day, I was undocumented myself for the longest time, and I knew that I was going to legalize myself. So in order for you to navigate the educational system and know what is beneficial for you, you need to be able to understand what they're asking you. So please make sure that if you are in that situation and you're planning to go to college, use the resources available to you. It's not only in the state of Utah that waiver is provided. There's other states in the United States, and I'm going to read to you those states that provide a waiver. And this is the state of California, Colorado, Connecticut, Florida, Illinois, Kansas, Maryland, Minnesota, Nebraska, New Jersey, New Mexico, New York, Oklahoma, Oregon, Rhode Island, Texas, Utah, and Washington. So if you are any of those states, you know that you can apply for the waiver. It might not be called the same, but it is the non-resident tuition waiver. So if you are talking to your admissions counselor and you're in that situation, please make sure you ask about the non-resident tuition waiver. And so there's 18 states that provide this waiver thus far in the United States. Thank you so much. And if you guys have any question at the end, please feel free to ask me, and I'll be happy to answer any other questions.
Thank you so much, Kyrsi. And as she mentioned, it's available in different states. And as Lais put in the comments, the HB 144 applies to all colleges and universities in Utah as well. So thank you very much. Our next question is for Jessie. Why is it important to know if I am a first-generation student?
Thank you. That's so important. Many of our panelists, co-panelists here have already mentioned that a lot of them were first-generation students. I'll just give you an analogy. If you don't know that you're a first-generation student and you go to college, never actually knowing that you are one, and suddenly you feel like you're left to your own devices and you don't have help. That's like going to a cruise and your ticket included all the meals, but you somehow thought that you had to take your peanut butter and jelly sandwich on board and that's all you had to eat. But in reality, you had access to all the buffets in the restaurants on the cruise. That's literally what it's like to go to college, not knowing that you're a first-generation student. You've just limited yourself from access to so many resources available. So that's why it's important. That's why it's important to know that you're a first-generation student. Now that we know that that's important, Now, how do you know? How do you know if you are first generation? It's very simple. If you are part of the first generation in your family to go to college, you are a first generation student. Which means, when I say first generation, meaning that like some people will think, oh, well, I wasn't the first one to go to college because my older sister or brother actually went to college already. So technically I'm the first. But it's not saying, hey, you're the first person student. It's called first generation student, which means you are part of the same generation as your brother and sister, which means you are a first generation student, which means you're the first generation in your family to go to college. I know it's really confusing, but trust me. And another way to identify yourself, whether or not you're a first generation student, is if neither of your parents hold a bachelor's degree, and that is the equivalent of a 4-year degree here in the United States, okay? So if your parents did go to college, right, and they went to a technical college, like many of our sister higher education institutions here, if they did not get a 4-year degree, a bachelor's degree, technically you are still considered first generation student because they did not complete a bachelor's degree. That is the actual definition of first generation student. Now, lastly, some of you might have, recently immigrated to this country, and some of you are thinking, oh, well, technically I'm not a first generation student because my mother or father, or both of them, received the equivalent of a bachelor's degree outside the United States from whatever country that you immigrated from. By definition, most colleges, including ours, are considering you a first generation student if your parent holds a bachelor's degree or the equivalent of outside the United States. I hope that makes sense. So that's what the definition of a first generation student is. And if you come here at UVU, if you are a first generation student, you are automatically a part of our biggest program ever for first generation students, and it is called I Am First. I Am First. So that if there's this like little barcode right here, if you have your phone with you, go ahead and scan that, and that takes you directly to our I Am First. And what it is, it's pretty much your I Am First is like your big brother on campus. Every single question that you have about navigating higher education, they will answer for you. They have someone, they have like, they partner you up with another first-gen student who already knows the ropes, and they're gonna be like, hey, great, what questions do you have? This is how you get, I don't know, discounts on books. This is how this is how you navigate the system. These are the shortcuts. These are the loopholes. These are the different scholarships available for you. This is how you find a tutor. Every single question that you have about, what college is and how to survive in college, especially if you're coming to UVU, the I Am First is your big brother on campus, especially if you're a first generation student. So is it important? Why is it important? Well, that's why it's important, because you get access to so many resources that really jumpstarts your higher education experience in your college career. And so if you want to live your best life, if you want to in college, then make sure that you're aware of whether or not you're a first generation student, because you have access to so many resources if you do.
Perfect. Thank you so much for sharing that with us. Our next question is for McKay. What makes your college unique?
What makes Mountainland Technical College so unique is that we focus on hands-on training. Like we've talked about, trying to find a career, right? You think about when you graduate and you want to go on and think of a career that you want to go into, it's hard to imagine yourself being in that career without actually having proper skills. We know a lot of students go to school, and a lot of times they're sitting in a classroom with just taking tests, filling out bubble sheets, answer sheets, things like that. At Mountainland Technical College, that's not the case. What we focus on is hands-on training, so that we can get students the tools necessary so they can really experience what it's going to be like when it goes out into the field. So, for example, if you're going to go into automotive, rather than sitting into a classroom, we're actually going to have students being able to take apart a car bumper to bumper and put the car back together. If you're going into any of the healthcare fields, like a medical assisting, we're actually going to give students the tools to, say, give a shot. We're going to partner students up and actually have them give shots, draw blood, do IV tests, just everything that you're going to be able to use when you go out into the field. And for me, I think I kind of explain MTech kind of like sports. Like I think I played sports my whole life. I grew up, And every day I went to practice, and practice was the key thing before I went out and played in a match or a game, whenever it got really competitive, when everything was on the line, right? And I think it's just like the workforce, you need to practice before you go out into the field, right? We need to teach you exactly what you're going to need to know. So once you get out into the field, you know how to do it. You've already done it because you did it in class, right? So what makes Mountainland Technical College so unique is that we do focus on getting students the skills and the training that they're going to need when they go out into the field. And that's going to be for any of our programs that we offer. And you're really going to know how to do it. You're going to feel confident that you can succeed in your field. And then you also get that kind of experience within it to see if you like it, if you don't like it, and get that hands-on approach. So that's kind of what makes MTech a little unique.
Thank you, McKay. Our next question goes to Estefani. What academic programs is your college most known for?
We have quite a few. The most popular ones are in health sciences. So our nursing program, radiological tech, medical assisting, all those kinds of things are, I guess, the most known ones. Our more unique ones also are the only ones that we offer in the state of Utah, or we're the only school rather that offers these programs in the state of Utah, which would be the fashion design program and our mortuary science program. I know that sounds a little like out there, but it's actually super cool. And to kind of echo what McKay was saying, a lot of our programs are very hands-on. So it's really interesting once hopefully everybody is able to safely do so. If y'all ever want to come and tour our West Jordan campus, it's super amazing. We have these mannequins, don't call them dummies. Our departments will get upset about it. But our mannequins that are around campus are really amazing and interactive because it's like you're working on a real human. We have one that actually goes through labor. Yes, the yelling and everything. It's an experience, let me tell you. And you can also, like we were mentioning, draw blood from them. If you're scared to do it on humans, we have humans, and we also have the mannequins. Again, to take x-rays, to draw blood, all these really cool, neat things. That's what we're most known for. Is again, the health science programs are very, very popular. Our nursing program is great because you can graduate with your associate's degree for nursing and go ahead and start practicing. Or you can keep going on to your bachelor's. The University of Utah comes onto campus the last semester and helps our students apply. So it's really cool. You have all these different options when you come with us. That's the thing that I love, is that you have options, options, options.
Perfect. Thank you, Estefani. And our last question before we move to a short live Q&A session is for Levi. What sort of support services are available at BYU, like academic advisors, tutors, etc.?
Yeah, we have a whole lot, and I will say spread across the entire university. So we have our admissions and outreach team that helps advising students as early as even middle school and high school for students wondering how do they prepare for college. We'll also add that we also offer services just for general college preparation as well. We recognize that not every student might want to come to BYU, but maybe they do go to the U. Maybe they want to come to, some of the other institutions. And so we try and help out wherever we can there. And then once you're within BYU, we have a lot of different offices. I mentioned the Multicultural Student Services Office, and that offers holistic advisement. That's everything from helping students navigate financial need. We have scholarships available, to academic advising, all the way to different things that help navigate cultural advisement. Like we've all been talking about, it can sometimes feel a little bit like you're a fish out of water as you're going around a university. And so we offer services with those types of things. And then the real key is integrating those services all across campus to make sure that students, from the time they first make contact with us to the time that we see them graduate and go on to do great things, that they have support every step.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Levi. So we asked for questions in the chat, and so we have one. And so we'd like to ask Doris and Kelly about virtual tour opportunities for Broward County LIA students.
So yes, absolutely. We do have virtual tour opportunities, Doris, you know, and you may have something to add. If you email me, my contact information was up on the screen earlier. I can put my email address in the chat, and I can certainly schedule a virtual tour for you with me, where you will take a look at these labs, and it'll be a lot of fun. So I'll add my email to the chat.
And we have online orientations, so that students that are interested in any particular program, they could just let us know. They register for whatever program they're interested in, and they could attend an online orientation. It could either be for health, for the manufacturing area, for business, for culinary. So we do have that, and so you're able to chat with us, with other students that are interested in just with regards to the process and what you need to do first, second, third, you know, what's the process, and just registering and applying for the program of your choice.
Perfect. Thank you guys both for sharing about those opportunities. We know that some others of you might have more questions, but unfortunately we're a little bit out of time. So if you have additional questions, you have everyone's contact info, so please feel free to reach out to them if you have specific questions about a particular university or college. And before we wrap up, I'd just like to give the opportunity to our panelists to give some closing words or thoughts that you'd like to share with these LIA students, just, you know, about a minute each max. So thank you. We'll start in the same order we started. So Lais.
I think the biggest thing that I would say is kind of what I started with, which is just be sure to advocate for yourself and be sure to connect with folks who seem interested in seeing you succeed. You definitely want to have mentors, especially while you're navigating college and university. So connect with those folks that seem devoted to your success.
Perfect, thank you. McKay.
Something that I would say is do research. I know higher education is you're focusing on getting a job, and is do research on what you want to do as a career, and really find out if that's something that you're going to want to do. Because if you really love what you're doing for work, it's not going to feel like work. And find opportunities to look into the career paths you're going into. If you're going to major in something, try to research it, or find somebody that you could job shadow, or go to a technical school where you're doing more of a hands-on approach, because you'll really find out if you really love it, and if you love it, it's not going to feel like a job. And so that's kind of my advice I would give to students.
Awesome, thank you, McKay. Doris.
I would say, like, there's many career assessments that you could take. So I would say talk to your counselor at your local school and just take a career test. Answer questions about the things you like, dislike, and look at your options. Talk to other people, like different people we're saying, shadow, volunteer. I know that through my volunteer experience, that's how I found out the passion that I had for in working with students. So try to volunteer, talk to people, ask questions. Don't feel shy about asking, why did you like, or why do you hate your job, or why do you like your job? Some people hate their jobs, so that could be also a good some good information, so that maybe just stay away from something like that. So there's you just explore and take digital classes, do the free things that are available for you. And just study hard, stay away from the distractions, because I know we could easily get distracted with our technology. Sometimes it's good, but sometimes it could be really distracting. So just stay focused and really pursue that interest that you have.
Thank you, Doris. We'll go to Kelly.
So I would say definitely think outside of the box. Do you like to cook? Maybe you would like to be a chef and own and operate your own food truck, or of course, a series of restaurants. Maybe you want to work in the medical field but not be a nurse. Why not become a nationally certified surgical technician? And that does not require a degree. So many options available. high wage, high demand jobs. The reason I keep saying that is because certain jobs, like jobs in the operating room, they're going to be around forever. Medical coders and billers, so many things. A lot of people think, I want to work in the medical field, I need to be a nurse. There are many, many, many opportunities available outside of nursing, because that's really very popular right now, in the medical field. So look at all of our schedules and our course catalogs, and you may see something, maybe you never thought you could have a career as a photographer. Why not? People are always going to get married and hire photographers. So that's my tip. Thank you.
Thank you, Kelly. Joelle?
Thank you, Monica. Well, first of all, don't be afraid of asking questions. Take advantage of the resources that are available to you. This is the perfect example. I applaud all of you for being here today. Lastly, there's a lot of content out there, just a few clicks away. But beyond all those websites, there are people that want to help you, that want to guide you through processes and eventually want to see you succeed. So take advantage of that. Make sure you're spending your time wisely. I think it's worth repeating and making sure that you're understanding the information that is coming back your way. This is about you, so make it meaningful. Enjoy it, because I promise you it goes by very quickly.
Thank you, Joelle. Kyrsi.
Thank you. Well, I think I'm just going to tell you what everybody already said. But one thing that I think is important is finding a mentor. Find a mentor. Find someone that is willing to dedicate time to you, so you can enhance your persona, and you can learn how to navigate the system. If you learn how to navigate the system, you'll be able to graduate, whether it's from a technical school or from a university, with zero debt. And that is important. And so please, please, please find a mentor and find the people in your village. Who do you want in your village? It takes a village to go to college. So find those people at an early stage. Now that you're in high school, it's a good place to start finding those people, those persons you want in your village. So build that network. It is important that you build a network at an early age. So please find a mentor. I'm here for you. If you decide that I can be of some sort of help, just reach out. I'll be happy to meet with you. Thank you.
Thank you, Kyrsi. Next is Jessie.
Okay, there we go. Yeah, I love what everyone said. I would just echo what everyone else said. And I'll just throw this in there too. Guys, when I keep talking about opportunity, there's so much opportunity, literally, so many, endless. College is this is my favorite quote. College is the best, worst time of your life, because, one moment you could be living it up with your friends, and the next moment you have 3 exams and $4 in your bank account. That's true. So think outside of the box. Don't limit yourself. Don't limit your possibilities. And ask yourself these really, really ridiculous but extreme questions. In a zombie apocalypse, which person would you want on your team? Would you want a mechanic who can fix your escape car, or a nurse who can, who can heal people that get bitten by zombies or whatever? Like, you wouldn't want to be a psychologist during a zombie apocalypse. And I'm not saying to diss the psychologist. What I'm saying is, you never ever think about those other opportunities and possibilities till you're at till you think of some ridiculous reason. Okay. So what I'm trying to say is, think outside of the box. If a technical route is your future, do it. Don't narrow yourself to the safe zone of I think I'm just going to study the very popular traditional approaches. Go extreme. If you want to be an astronaut, go be an astronaut. Think about the possibilities and go for it. And take every advice that everyone's already shared. And I promise you will be successful. So that's all I got to add for you.
Thank you, Jessie. Next is Estefani.
Yeah, lots of echoes in here. I would have to agree with everyone else. The biggest thing that I learned the hard way, so hopefully you all learn the easier way, is to not limit yourself. It's very easy to become your own worst enemy. So if something scares you, if it terrifies you, and you think it's impossible, I recommend you go that way. Push yourself, challenge yourself, go outside of your comfort zone. I was painfully awkward when I was in high school. It would physically hurt you to interact with me. And so I pushed myself to pursue all those leadership positions, to ask questions. I was always so scared to ask my teacher a question, which is ridiculous, right? Because that's what they're there for. So I learned that there are a lot of options, a lot of opportunities available to you. You just have to be willing to go out and look for them and ask for them.
Thank you, Estefania. Levi.
I will just echo what everyone else has said, and I'll point something out that I feel very strongly about. We show up as colleges, universities, technical colleges with a lot of resources, and all of that is very true in how we can help you. But I also see another side to it, that the reason we are here is because our institutions need students like you, and we need your help. There are problems. There is a lot of different things that can be solved by the experiences and talents that you as students have. So I'll just share that.
Thank you, Levi. And lastly, we'll finish it off with Jill.
Thanks. You guys are brilliant. You said so many wise things. I was just going to say this: be brave, be bold, go after it. College is only 1, 2, 4 years, and then you have the rest of your life in front of you. Just go for it. Get your passions and just explore where you want to go. College is more than a set of courses. It's for sure founded in you finding your own community. So find those people that can take you places and just do it. I can't wait to see you on campus.
Thank you, Jill, and thank you to all of our panelists. To wrap up, I want to emphasize what everyone has mentioned about preparation and being active in these decisions about college. As Kyrsi said, we as Latinos can make a difference and accomplish so many things. And as Jill mentioned earlier, you guys have the power and the voice to make a difference. But it all starts with the decisions that you make right now and the steps you're taking to prepare to progress your educational journey and your career and your life path. So with that, tomorrow night, please join us with your parents for a Zoom session with Puente, and have a great night, everyone. Thank you.